Welcome everyone to a brand new year of City Connector right here on City TV and brought to you by the City of Douglasville. I am Lee Brogdon Culberson and it is my pleasure, I think this might be my 5th year of hosting City Connector, and as someone who lives, works, and plays all right here in the City of Douglasville, it is always my honor to be a part of the show and for you folks to join us. Now, February is the month of love. See, I have on my red. And today's show, we're going to talk a lot about empowering and loving yourself as well as giving back. So we have a great show planned for you. Refill that cup of coffee, don't change the channel, and we will be right back. Welcome back to this City Connector. As I talked about at the beginning of the show, February is a lot about love, but it's also about being your best self. And I'm looking forward now to talking to someone who's going to be helping us be our best self. Joining me now at the table is Dr. Tanda Canyon and also Councilman Sam Davis. Folks, yes. Welcome to City Connector.
Hello.
Thank you.
So let's talk a little bit first, Dr. Canyon, about you, because you have a lot going on. You have a ministry, you have a foundation, and then that kind of translates into the empowerment convention that we're going to talk about.
Right.
What moved you to start this kind of thing?
Well, I've always been passionate about ministry, but what moved me was the need for families to come under one umbrella and really empower with everything that they need. So this iron really does sharpen iron. So this was my way of serving the community and serving families. So I'm very passionate about people getting what they need, not just spiritually, but all around.
Right. Well, we love that you are in our community, and in fact, this might be your 5th or 6th convention,
right.
And yet, as I told you off camera, it's one of the first times I'd ever heard about it. So I know it's important to get the City of Douglasville and Douglas County involved in the convention. So tell us about it. It's going to be March 1st and 2nd. Mm-hmm. What's the purpose of the Empowerment Convention?
The purpose of the empowerment is to empower the entire family. It's not just a women's conference. I know I'm the woman and I'm head of it. However, it's for the entire family. We deal anywhere from finances to marital relations. This year we're doing active shooting. We do leadership summits. We have sessions specifically geared towards men and specifically geared towards women. We're dealing with emotional health. We're bringing in professional doctors. Everybody we bring in are world class and they've mastered their craft. So these are very skilled people all under one umbrella right here in the City of Douglasville. So we want Douglasville to take advantage. People come from all over the country to converge upon Douglasville, but we want Douglasville to be empowered.
It is a national convention, and it's nationally, if not internationally, recognized. I saw that when I was doing my research.
Thank you.
Now, what happens is there are a number of breakout areas or workshops, right, for all of these different areas of your life. And then you come together with some pretty dynamic speakers, don't you?
Yes. All of our speakers are world-renowned. We have Bishop George Bloomer, Dr. Juanita Bynum. I'm going to be a keynote speaker, and Dr. Todd Hall. We bring in artists from all over the country. We have wonderful choirs that's going to be with us. So they come from a little bit of everywhere. So we have the best. We're bringing them all right here. Normally people have to go see these people, but we're bringing them to you.
It's very impressive, the lineup. Now, Councilman Davis, what role are you going to play in this empowerment convention? I know you have one.
First, I want to welcome Pastor Tanya and the Empowerment Convention and our whole entire staff to the City of Douglasville.
Thank you.
And from the city officials, I want to officially welcome you back again for probably the 4th year.
I think it's about 5 now.
About 5 years.
Yes.
And it's always been an empowerment convention. From my part with Pastor Tanya, I'll be spending time you come through the front door of some of the best gospel jazz, and I want you to come with your shout shoes on, because I tell you, this empowerment convention is one of a kind. Thank you, Pastor Cannon.
Thank you, and he has been amazing. He set the atmosphere to make our guests, they walk the red carpet, and the first sound they hear is that smooth, relaxing atmosphere after a long day or long travel.
Telling
he
you.
has added an extra spin to us.
Councilman Davis can get that job done.
Yes.
Thank you.
That is the truth. All right,
Thank
well,
you.
I want to point out one thing to our viewers, Dr. Kenyon, which is that you talk about finances at this convention, relationships, leadership, evangelism, emotional health, world-class speakers, all sorts of things. But no matter what kind of place you are in life, you have something. So my point is, you don't have to be in a bad situation to say, oh, I need to go to this convention. You can be in a great situation, and we all can maintain or strive to be better. So I just want to be clear about that.
Yeah, I thank you for clarifying that, because some people think you have to be in a rut,
Right.
spiritually, financially, emotionally. Everybody don't need money. Some people are happy and wonderful, have wonderful lives, but maintenance is very important. It's almost like driving a car. You have to do maintenance on a good car. It'll keep you a long time if you maintain it. So wherever you are, find yourself at this time. We want to help you either get to where you need to be or continue to be where you are.
And this really treats you in a holistic fashion, doesn't it?
It does. Very holistic. When you leave, you will be empowered, you'll be sharpened, and we cater to the whole man.
I love that. Well, as always, I'm going to leave you with the last word, and I want to point out that folks can go out to tandacanyon.org and learn more about it. But what do you want to leave our viewers with about the convention?
Absolutely. I want to leave the viewers with the fact that we are bringing empowerment to the city. We want an opportunity to empower you, to sharpen you, to thrust you to your next. And I believe that there's higher heights and deeper depths, and I think we are conduits to provoke you and to push you to that next. Whether you're a business owner, whether you are a stay-at-home mom, whether you're a dad, it doesn't matter. Bring your family, your children, even your teenagers can benefit, because we have all people of all walks of life there.
It sounds amazing. Once again, that's March 1st and 2nd at the Douglasville Conference Center. You can go on out to tandacanyon.org and learn more about it, because there's just so much involved in the Empowerment Convention. Too much to talk about in our few minutes here.
Absolutely.
All right, Councilman Davis, thank you.
I just want to say thank you again, Pastor Canyon, because she brings them in from all over the world.
Yes.
Douglasville, you just don't know what you're missing, so you're going to have to get out. Start getting out of your domain and come on down, because I tell you, my first year, I got hooked. So I'm from the beginning to the end. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank y'all for being with us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so mark it down on that calendar. And speaking of calendar, we're going to go on out to the interactive community calendar so you can learn more about events, and we'll be right back. So stay tuned.
Welcome to the interactive community calendar on City Connector. I'm here, Kelly Hunter, with Sarah Ray from the Chamber, and we have a familiar face with us.
Yes, one of our old favorites, young old favorites, Emily Leichner from the Cultural Arts Council. And I know you guys always have a ton of great things going on, so why don't you give us a heads up on what we've got coming up this month?
Yeah, so in February, we have our Afternoon with Authors and Poets hosted by DC Connections. It's going to be February 18th from 3 to 6 p.m. It'll be a chance for inspiring authors or seasoned artists to go ahead and come in, talk about their work, things that they do. And it's held at the Cultural Arts Council. And then on February 24th, we have our famous Family Arts Ventures program, and that's going to be at Douglas County Library. It's by an amazing musician and percussionist, Dave Holland, and it's at 10:30 a.m. and it's completely free. So invite your family, your friends, and everybody to come out. So those are two things happen in February. And also we have our Taste of Douglasville, and I can't believe I'm already talking about it.
No.
But it's May 19th, and applications are now open for arts and crafts, booth, better living, restaurants, food vendors, and of course sponsorships as well. And as a nonprofit organization, this helps us produce all of the things that we do into the community. So hopefully we'll get a lot of participating.
And we hear you already have vendors lining up at their registration.
Yes.
That's incredible.
Yeah, so February 1st is when our vendor applications open, and we've already had a ton of people wanting to get more information and pay now.
And a super cute new logo that I saw on your Facebook page. It's so cute.
Yes, I'm very excited about it. So we have a new logo, new things going on. We're really excited about all the things we have in store for this year's Taste.
Great.
Right.
And if people have more questions or want to get more info, do you want to tell them about website and Facebook? I know those are your two hot spots.
Yeah, those are our two hot spots. Our website's artsdouglas.org, and then our phone number is also on our website, along with contact information of how to reach us.
All right.
Great.
Lots going on at the CAC, always here in the community.
Yeah.
Great.
Thank you.
Thanks,
you,
Emily.
All right. Up next, we have Miss Lynn. And Lynn, I think you have a couple of hats you might be wearing for us today. Is that right?
Yes, I do. I want to talk just a moment about Public Education Trust and Teacher for a Day that's sponsored by both the Douglas County School System and the Chamber of Commerce. All right, the Public Education Trust, or PET, is the foundation that serves our local school system. We raise money for scholarships for students and grants for teachers to use in their classrooms on behalf of their students. And our scholarships, this is actually very well timed, will open up the online application period on Thursday, February 1st.
Great. And then you go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say beforehand, you told me that's open for a month through March. So if you're a senior coming up, put your application in for that scholarship.
Absolutely. If you're a Douglas County School System senior, apply now. We have very varied criteria, which means you don't have to have perfect grades. They're restricted in different ways by major, by program you participate in, by sports, things like that, which open it up to many, many students. So that's very exciting. And they're all locally funded.
Yes, I love it. A little melting pot of scholarships.
Exactly.
Great. And then you're also here on behalf of the Douglas County Chamber Diplomats, and you want to tell them about Teacher for a Day.
Yes, I do. For anyone in our community who would like to be a teacher for the day in any of our Douglas County School System schools, contact the Chamber of Commerce and they'll get you signed up for that. It's a wonderful way to see what our teachers experience every day, and I'm sure everyone knows it's not easy, but it's even more difficult, I think, than they would ever imagine. There's not a down moment in a day, but it'll be a fun opportunity to go into schools and see the schools and see what teachers go through.
Great. And the date on that?
March 27th.
Good girl. You did it.
All right.
Great. Thank you so much,
Thank you, Miss Lynn. You know, there's always so much happening here in our community.
Yes.
And we want to offer up the opportunity. If you have a nonprofit organization that has something that affects and you can connect with in our community, be here.
Yep. Last Tuesday of the month at about 11:15, and we'll get you on the air.
Get you on, promote your activity happening, and help our community connect.
Yes.
We'll be back with more City Connector.
You made this vacation happen, cleverly merging promotions,
double points with every purchase,
and cross-referencing travel sites. Aloha! If you can ace your vacation, you can do it for retirement. Get on track with tips at aceyourretirement.org.
Welcome back to City Connector. This is a fabulous show all about being your best self. And along those lines, joining me at the table today is Skip Johnson. Skip is an author, he's a fitness expert, and you're with Gold's Gym. So you wear a lot of hats, Skip. Welcome to the show.
Hey, glad to be here. Thank you so much, Lee.
So let's talk a little bit first about fitness, because when January rolls around, we all make out our list of resolutions, and almost invariably on there is feel better, get healthier, lose weight, get a six-pack. Who knows what it might be, but it has something to do with exercise, health, and wellness. Do you find that resolutions are a good idea?
Well, you know, I actually hear that a lot. And a lot of people are like, well, I'm not even going to try a resolution because it never works. I tried a resolution again and again, and it finally did work for me, and I'm in the fitness business. So I think one of the best ways to get started on a program is to make that first of the year commitment. And then you can just make it a lifestyle change. The next thing you know, you're in the gym regularly getting fit.
I think to some people, though, that seems like such a hurdle. How do you really make it a habit? I mean, you can't just go a couple times and, oh, I'm sore, I'm not going to go back. So what does a person have to do to make it a habit?
Well, it's a great question. And what I tell people is write down your goal, just like anything else. What is it that you want to accomplish? And when do you want to accomplish it by? And then when you come in the gym, there's this whole thing about having the right mental attitude. And you've got to believe that when you come in, you can do it, you can reach your goal, and take it a little bit at a time. Baby steps. Don't try to jump in there and go crazy right off the bat, just one step at a time, and the next thing you know, you'll start seeing changes, and other people will start seeing those changes too.
And I love that. And you know, the goal can be just about anything. It could be I want to walk a little bit further with my kids.
Sure.
It could be that I want to be able to lift something. It could be I want better balance. I mean, they could be small things. They don't have to be huge goals.
That's exactly right. People come into the gym or come into a health club or go wherever they go to exercise for different reasons. And so in the old days, it used to be I want to get ripped up. Well, now it's I want to be able to play with my grandchildren.
Right.
I want to be able to do more functional things with my family and my life, and have a longer fitter life. So there's all sorts of reasons. You're exactly right.
So how important is that mental side of fitness?
I think it's key. If I don't have the right mental attitude, if I don't have this desire to succeed and to come in there and really stay with it, something's going to pull me away. Life is going to get in the way. What they say, life is what happens when you're making other plans.
That's right.
And so if I make the commitment that I'm going to get in there and no matter what happens, I'm going to get to my exercise program, well, strangely enough, things start working around that where I do make it a priority. So the mental side is key.
You have to make it a priority for sure.
Yeah.
Now, part of what you do, aside from the fitness part of it, is you are an inspirational author, an inspirational speaker. You do keynotes, and speaking of the mental side, I know that you've written several books, done a lot of workshops on attitude and personal growth, being inspired. Talk to us a little bit about how you got started on that.
Well, my first book was entitled, and is entitled, Grateful for Everything. And I wrote this book, I guess 5 years ago, and the belief was, I had this thought that we get hit from so many different sides with negative things, difficulties, problems, things going on in the news that are just so challenging that I wrote this book to kind of recalibrate and to help us see that life can be really good, and we've got a lot going well for us that we kind of forget about. So that's my mindset as I'm doing my different books, is we do have a lot that's going right, and I want to instill this belief that it can get better and better, and it just works. So I'm a big believer in believing every single day you get up, it's going to be a good day.
Now, I know that this book did really well, but I have to ask, can you really be grateful for everything?
Well, it's a great question, and my thought on that is, it's not that we're grateful for the difficulties in our lives, but we're grateful for the opportunities we have to make something out of that. No matter what happens in our lives, we have this ability to find something, either short-term or long-term, that can make a difference in our life so that we can in turn make a difference in other people's lives.
So your newest book, I see, is called Starting Each Day in a Powerful Way, and this was released a few months ago. So what's the premise of this book? Okay,
great question. I love this book because it's my attempt to give you something each day to focus on before you start your day that's good. I took 30 of my most popular pictures from my Skip Johnson Author Facebook page and put them into little, almost like devotions. Mm-hmm. So each morning you can sit down and see a beautiful picture, an original picture, plus you'll have something written about that picture that applies to our lives and how we can use it to make other people's lives, again, much more empowered.
Well, let's talk about this for a second, too, because I love the idea of positive self-talk and doing that first thing in the morning, right? When you first get up. I think it sets the tone for the day.
Yeah.
Do you find that people are maybe a little reticent to get up and read something like that and do it? I think it's corny or weird. What's your experience been?
Well, what I have found is that if we don't take control of that, something else or someone else, or it's going to happen for us.
Right.
And the next thing you know, on our way to work, we start thinking about what's going wrong, what we have to do during the day. By the time we even get to the office, it's like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to get home. So my belief is if we can start off in a way that we feel uplifted and encouraged and empowered, we've got a better chance of letting that stick with us throughout the day.
I think it's so important. I think it sets the tone for the entire day.
Yeah.
Now, do you have a few other projects going on as well, right?
Right. I've got 6 other ebooks that you can download from Facebook. I also have an online course, which I started about 1 year ago, actually. And it'll be coming back out in the spring. I take it off for a little while and bring it back out. And then I've got an audiobook coming out this fall.
Goodness.
So looking forward to that.
A lot of great inspiration.
Right, thank you.
All right, well, I'll tell you what. I encourage people to go out to skipjohnsonauthor.com. You also can go out and search for Skip Johnson Author on Facebook. You have so much great inspirational information there, and they can sign up for your workshops and all the other cool things.
Great.
So, as usual, I'm going to leave you with the last word for our viewers. What do you want to tell them?
Well, first of all, I just want to say thank you for the job that you have done with this program. 5 years is amazing, Lee. We're so grateful to have you here. And I would just say to everyone, look for what's working in our lives. And no matter how difficult the situations are, there's a nugget in there that can help make us stronger, wiser, more compassionate people.
I love that. Skip, thanks for being on the show.
Great.
I encourage you to go out there, no matter where you are in life, we always can use a positive word and some inspiration and grow a little bit more and skip stuff. He does it for you. All right. Next, we're going to hop on out to the musical guest. You're going to love it. So stay tuned and we'll be right back.
After 15 years of smoking, Eva Marie quit. There's a new lung cancer screening that could save her life. You stopped smoking. Now start screening. Learn more at savedbythescan.org.
Well, hey there, Mr. Timber. You don't know how lucky you are. You shouldn't spend your whole life wishing for something bound to fall apart. Well, every time you're feeling empty, you better thank your lucky stars. 'Cause if you ever feel one breaking, you wouldn't want to hurt. Well, hey there, Mr. Timber. Well, you don't know how lucky you are. Well, I've been on the road as you. It didn't get me very far. 'Cause you ain't missing nothing. 'Cause love is so damn hard. Well, take it from me, darling. You wouldn't want to hurt. Well, hey there, Mr. Timber. I'm glad we talked this out. You can have mine if you want it. 'Cause it's in pieces now. And by the way, there, Mr. Timber, if you don't know the scars, well, you give me your armor, and you can have my heart. Ooh. you guys.
I was living in a shelter juggling 3 jobs. I had to be resilient. That's something that you can't teach.
Welcome back to this month's City Connector. Joining me at the table now to talk about nature things, which I love, is Chan Weeks, City of Douglasville. Welcome. And also Kevin Livingston. So, folks, let's talk about the outdoors, because even though it's super cold right now, it's not always going to be like that. And we live in a beautiful city, and what happens with Keep Douglasville Beautiful and the West Georgia Green Association really contributes to what's so great about living in the city of Douglasville. Let's start with Arbor Day. Arbor Day is officially February 16th, but the city is having an Arbor Day celebration on February 15th. Who wants to talk to me about the celebration?
Well,
Kevin.
Sure, why not? So Arbor Day, we're going to be at Hunter Park.
Right.
From 12 o'clock to 4:30. We'll have some different classes there. We have a class on bonsai, learning how to do bonsai trees, a beginner class. We'll have lunch for the folks there, as well as the plant material and the tools to do a hands-on bonsai class. We'll also talk about selecting the right tree or trees with purpose for our yard. We'll have a walkthrough trade show kind of event where folks can see some wood turning. We have some arborists that'll be present to answer questions. The master gardeners will have a booth there to address questions regarding trees, as well as any outdoor gardening questions that folks may have, as well as Keep Douglasville Beautiful will be there. So,
good
and
deal.
I know Chan, you have some things to share
That's right.
about our event.
Well,
as
I'll just add a little bit that all of this is free for the public except the bonsai class. And the only reason we are charging for the bonsai class, there's a $30 registration fee, but that, like Kevin said, does include
that
your
covers
lunch,
the tools,
all
everything,
the materials,
right.
your little bonsai tree, your little clippers, everything. So that's the only thing we're having to charge for. But everything else is absolutely free, and it's just a way for us to really, get across how important trees are to our community and what they bring.
Well, let's talk about that for a second, because I think one of the things, you're right, that makes our city so gorgeous is we have a lot of trees. But I know that you probably receive a lot of questions about what's the best tree for our area. Is a tree going to be the best tree for my backyard? Is it going to change colors? I can hear all sorts of questions. So tell us about what kind of questions you get at the Extension Office.
Sure, we get a lot of questions regarding trees, regarding the selection of trees, but when to prune, how much to prune off. I want a tree that's going to generate pollinators. I would like to have more wildlife in my backyard. How do I go about that? I like trees for flower reasons. Different trees are selected for that purpose. So there's all kinds of different questions that come with it. A lot of challenges that we have in our area are soil compaction because of the heavy clay soils that we have. We're going to have a demonstration on how to loosen up those soils with an air spade. One of our local arborists is going to be there to share how to go about having that work done at your
I have to
home.
share the real fast story, because you'll appreciate that, because that is a challenge in this area. So my family, I'm from Florida, and so when we first moved up here, in Florida, if you take a straw and you throw it on the ground, it digs a hole. That's how soft the soil is, right? We got up here and I told my husband, I want to plant this tree in our front yard. So he goes out with a shovel. Next thing I know, he's got a pickaxe out there trying to dig the hole because it was so hard, because we didn't know. So people had known to call you, we could have had a clearer idea of what it's going to take to dig a hole in this soil, right? And that's that's the kind of stuff people are going to learn from you.
Sure. We're also going to have a tree planting demonstration. Several trees will be put in the ground there at Hunter Park. So we're excited about that. So if you want to learn how to put a tree in the ground, we'll have that available for you.
That's wonderful. Well, Chan, tell us why trees are so important from your perspective with Keep Douglasville Beautiful.
Well, obviously our name says beautiful, and that is one thing that trees provide is beauty in our community, but they're great in so many different aspects, and Kevin can obviously elaborate as well, but just our air quality, erosion control, Kevin?
Absolutely. has a lot to do with the absorption of moisture, the loosening of the soil. We talked about soil compaction. That's a big part of trees, and the sequestering of carbon. Air pollution. So those are all real important to us.
So we're doing a good thing as citizens by planting a tree, not because we want shade over our patio. There's other good stuff that goes along with it.
Absolutely.
Oh, absolutely.
All right, so that's great. That's an Arbor Day celebration on Thursday, February 15th from 12 to 4:30 at Hunter Memorial Park. But there's also something else going on with the West Georgia Green Association. So let's talk about that for a second as well. I know you'll be talking about assessing and managing storm damaged trees. I think there's probably been a lot of that we really don't know the tree is damaged until the limbs fall down or it falls on your house or car.
Surely, we have a lot of folks calling in regarding the damage after a storm, as well as sometimes the tree is rotting at the base. And so a lot of questions there. We're going to have Joe Burgess, who is an urban forester with the Forestry Commission, coming out and presenting to our West Georgia Green Association group there. It starts at 5:30 with a dinner from 5:30 to 6, and then 7 o'clock Joe will do his presentation from 7 to 8:30. Folks are welcome to join us for the presentation. They're welcome to join us for dinner. There is a charge for the dinner. $20 at the door would be fine. We do require an RSVP if you can to help us with the planning of the food. But the event is going to be excellent. It is going to have a lot of information for the green industry folks. We are going to have credit hours, ISA credit hours, International Society of Arboriculture, that's a tough one sometimes, available for the professionals. So you'll be amongst the professionals if you decide to show up and also have an opportunity to ask questions of them as well.
Right.
All right.
And it's also a great way if you're wanting to do some projects at your home. This is a perfect opportunity to meet some of those professionals
Sure.
and see about hiring them for services.
I love that. Once again, that is Thursday, February 15th, the Arbor Day celebration. But I also want to point out that you folks partner together to do good things in our community. Can you give us an example of that so our viewers know more?
Sure. Well, our most recent partnership between Keep Douglasville Beautiful and the West Georgia Green Association, along with the University Extension Office here, partnered together to form our honor garden, our military honor garden at Hunter Park, and that was dedicated on November 11th this past year for 2017 on Veterans Day, and we're very proud of that. That's our most recent partnership, and it's probably now time to start planning another project.
I know.
Isn't it?
Well, I just wanted folks to know that there's been an ongoing partnership here, and we all benefit from it as citizens. All right.
And it's a good community. All three groups, the
It
West
is.
Georgia Green, the Keep Douglasville Beautiful, and Extension have worked very, very well together. And of course, the Freedom Island is another one
Absolutely.
that
Beautiful
we
out there.
participated in. So.
All right. Well, very good. Well, Jan, Kevin, thanks for being on the show today. Once again, remember, mark your calendar, Thursday, February 15th, 12 to 4:30 at Hunter Memorial Park. Go and get your nature on. You won't want to miss it. So mark it, and we're going to go out to the interactive community calendar right now, and we'll be back.
Thanks, Lee.
Welcome back to the interactive community calendar here. Arbor Place Mall happens the last Tuesday of every month. Sarah, we have a handsome gentleman between us here with
Yes.
lots of information.
Our handsome gentleman here would be Jacob Harris, and
Hey,
he's
Jacob.
with Gold's Gym, and he's also a chamber diplomat.
Great.
So he has some exciting information to share with everyone about an awesome program we have.
Yeah, so Leadership Douglas applications are now available. It gives you the opportunity to really meet with, with business leaders in the community and just interact with the community in general. If you need any additional information, you could go to the Douglas County Chamber website, and the application deadline is actually March 15th, so you better hurry, okay?
Yes. And
Great program.
Yes. Fellow alumni,
We
class
are
of 2011.
Best class ever.
Best class ever.
There you go.
You need to get Chad to let you go through.
Yes, he needs to hurry up and let me
Did you hear that, Chad?
Chad was in our class as well.
Yep, we've got a special connection. He was in our class too.
But yeah, great program, Leadership Douglas.
Yes.
All right.
Thank
what
you.
else?
All right, thank you very much.
All right.
Thank you.
That was
Thank you, Jacob. You know, the Chamber does a lot to connect our community as well. So I understand, though, Sarah, you're moving on up in the world here.
Well, I might be a little taller than you, but that's the only way I'm moving up anywhere.
Okay, all right, I see. Well,
and I love you because of it.
there you go. Well, I the high heels and all
Yes,
that don't
I
quite
know.
work for me, but I
know.
understand we're going to do a mic exchange today.
Yes, I am I have another commitment that is allowing me to have to step away from City Connector, which I've been here for on with you for about almost 8 years, and then doing announcements before that since it started. So we're happy to announce that Morgan Helton, who's our membership and events coordinator, come right here between us, who works at the chamber with me, is going to take over and co-host with Kelly going forward.
Hey, Morgan. Hello. I'm so excited to be here and looking forward to another great year and this opportunity to work with you.
All right, we're excited about it too. Welcome aboard. And so next month,
so going forward,
I'll be looking across the way at you, Miss Morgan.
Yes, and I'm excited.
And the good news is she wears flat shoes a lot, so
more behind.
It'll be, and I've already given her the heads up on that. So, well, thank you so much. Yes, and we're very excited that she's doing that.
All right. Well, we appreciate the partnership with the chamber. Welcome aboard, and we'll see you next month.
Yes, I'm excited. Thank you.
And this is yours.
There you go. All right. Hey, she handles that well.
I know.
There you go. Hey, if you're looking to promote your organization, you can do it here every month on the City Connector, the last Tuesday of the month. Show up around 11:15, and we'll get you signed up and ready to go. We'll be back with more City Connector.
Hi. You think you're probably sober?
Yeah.
But you're thinking about taking the back roads home, just in case. Why would you do that?
Probably okay isn't okay. Call a cab, a car, or a friend.
Good choice.
Welcome back to this month's City Connector. I know you're having a great time because there's so much information on this show that you can take back right now and utilize in your own life to feel better, have a great time, even do good things out in the community. And we have another person to tell us some great tips and tricks for being our healthiest us in the new year. Joining me at the table is Dr. Ronnie Bowler of Vital Life Chiropractors. Welcome, Ronnie.
How are you doing? Thank you so
I'm
much for
doing
having
well.
me.
We appreciate you being here. So yeah, we're coming up here at the end of January. You saw earlier, I talked to Skip, people started off with all these grand resolutions. They're kind of dying off now.
Exactly.
What do you see coming into your chiropractor's office? What kind of things are people asking you about come the end of January, February, March?
Well, at the end of this month, what people are starting to realize is that if their resolutions did go away, or if they stopped doing those things that they were working on before, they're starting to realize, a lot of people are getting the flu, a lot of people are having issues with sickness and things of that nature. And then a lot of people have sustained maybe some injuries possibly over the holidays, when we had snow and ice and things of that nature. So we're seeing a lot of that come into the office now. And some people just overall want to be more healthy. They're still in their mind wanting to be healthier, but they're having issues in their body that are preventing them from maybe going to the gym or maybe doing that exercise program that they want to do. So we're seeing a lot of that come into the office right now.
And it's interesting because you brought up things besides just, I slipped and I think I did something to myself. So you guys must do more than just realign my spine.
Yes.
Right?
And yes, absolutely. And what we do is we want to focus on getting to the root cause of people's health issues, okay? Now that spine and that nervous system, which is what we really focus on, controls everything in the body. So what we want to do is address that by realigning the spine and allowing the body to do what it naturally does on its own, which is heal. Your body is made to heal and function at a very high capacity.
Wow.
And when it's not able to do that because of those misalignments, that's why we see a bunch of different things that people come in with, such as, anything from ear infections in kids to asthma and allergies and digestive issues in people. So we're seeing people for a variety of different things.
No, see, I didn't know that. I mean, I would have thought, I have a pain in my neck or whatever it might be, but there's a lot more than that because that core has everything to do with the health of you and the rest of your body.
Absolutely. You are absolutely correct with that. The way the brain communicates with the body is through that spinal cord and those nerves. So that's what controls everything. And when that is not functioning properly, everything else in the body does not function properly.
Well, see, I learned something already today, so that is great.
Yes.
Well, let's talk a little bit about things that people can do as they move into the new year. And they just say, I want to do just one or two things, right, to make my life a little bit better, to live a little bit healthier. What would you recommend from your experience?
That's a great question. The first thing I would recommend is drink more water. That's always something that most people say they do, but they're not really doing. So make sure you're drinking plenty of water. Your body's made of about 80% water, so you want to get as hydrated as possible because that allows your body to function properly, okay? Another thing I would recommend people do.
Let me stop right there. How much is enough water? Because I've heard all sorts of tales. So tell me, how much is enough water?
Enough water, I would tell most people to try to get a gallon in, that's 64 ounces if they can.
A gallon?
It sounds like a lot. Exactly.
It sounds like a lot, y'all.
It does sound like a lot. But I always recommend people just start with bottles of water. Most bottles are maybe 16 ounces to 12 ounces.
And work up to it.
Yes, you can work up to that. Okay, it sounds like a lot, but you'll notice as you're feeling more hydrated, your skin will start to clear up. You'll start to notice that your body's working a little bit better. And that's going to help you feel healthier overall.
All right, good deal. All right, and what else? I interrupted you, my apologies. So drink more water, what else?
Another thing I would mention is just make sure you're getting enough sleep and enough sunlight. So a lot of times people don't think about how the sun actually nourishes our body. It increases our vitamin D levels, which helps our immune system.
Right.
A lot of times the reason why people get sick, especially in the wintertime, is because they're not outside enough. And that's for obvious reasons, because it's cold outside.
Right.
But going outside and being in the sun and allowing our body to get some of that fresh air and sunlight actually builds up your immune system naturally also. So those are just a few things. You can actually go outside and drink your bottled water. And then
I love
you're
that.
knocking out two
well, like today on our taping day, it's a beautiful day, but it's cold. So you just need to get up off the couch, get out of the office, bundle up, get your water, and go out there.
Absolutely. Just take maybe a short walk with your bottled water. Just walk up and down your street maybe a few times if you can, just to get the blood circulation moving, get your body feeling better and breathing better and getting some fresh air. And that would be excellent for you.
I love that.
Yes.
Let's talk a little bit about your experience there at Vital Life, and I want to talk about generations and kind of what you see, because I know that you probably see a wide variety of patients. So what tips or what feedback would you have for people who maybe have kids, teenagers in sports? And then I want to talk about the other end of it and what maybe senior citizens should look for when they might want to call you.
Absolutely. So with the children, we always encourage new moms and parents of younger children to bring their children in. A lot of the children that we see in our office are actually just coming in for general health.
Okay.
Now, we all know that little kids are always falling, they're always bumping their head, they're always doing things to their body. And the thing about children is they're not able to properly articulate when things may not necessarily be going right in their bodies.
Right. They don't know that there's a pain necessarily here and where it's okay. Yeah.
Exactly. They don't really understand that. And then even with little babies, things like ear infections, things like colic, those types of things can be addressed in a natural way by making sure that that baby's body is functioning properly, by gently realigning their spine. And the thing I always tell parents, the way we adjust children and the way we adjust adults is completely different. It's safe, it's effective, and we found out that children they recover very fast because they're so young. So, and then teenagers, when we speak with parents that have teenagers, especially our cheerleaders, our athletes, people of that nature, a lot of times they can understand what's going on in their bodies, but they don't necessarily know how to address it. So when we see the teenagers and the cheerleaders and the football players,
I bet you see a lot of that.
Absolutely.
And what about at the other end of the spectrum? When you get to be a person of a certain age, what is something you need to look for?
So over the age of 50, spinal issues are usually the #1 cause of health concerns in senior citizens. So our goal for the senior citizens is to make sure that they stay independent.
Right.
Because no one wants to be in a situation where they have to depend on other people.
Right.
So when we see our seniors in their 60s, 70s, not 60s, in their 70s, 80s, and even 90s, we explain to them, hey, our goal is to make sure you stay independent, and we do what we can to make sure that you're healthy and as active as possible.
I love that. So I'm going to tell you, it's not a story, but it's a saying. I heard this a while back. It said, you are only as young as your spine is healthy.
That is an
Would you agree with that?
quote. You are absolutely
That's going to be your
correct.
logo thing from now on,
Yes,
right?
ma'am.
You're only
Yes,
as young
ma'am.
as your spine is healthy.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, as always, I'm going to give you the last word. I love to do that with our guests here. So, Ronnie, tell us, if you could leave them with one thing about living a healthier life in 2018, what would you tell our folks?
For living a healthier life in 2018, I would say the most important thing is for you to know exactly what's going on inside of your body. How's your body functioning? Not necessarily how you feel, but how's your body actually working? Go get your body checked, get things tested, see exactly what's going on so you're not blindsided by things that happen and you're scared into making decisions that you may not necessarily want to make.
All right.
So that's why I'll tell people.
So pay attention.
Pay attention and be proactive. Yes, ma'am.
All right. Very good. Thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you so much for having us.
I appreciate that. I tell you what, we've had a lot of fun learning more about being our healthiest person in 2018. Again, we're going to go on out to the interactive community calendar, and we will be right back. So don't go anywhere.
Well, welcome to the interactive community calendar. I have two fine gentlemen here with me from our Parks and Recreation Department. And so tell us your name and your position, and then we're going to talk about a little bit of activities happening in the Parks and Rec.
All right, so my name is Kayam Jones. I am the athletic coordinator at Hunter Park.
All right.
I'm Kendrick Davis. I'm the Recreation Program Coordinator.
All righty. So lots of parks happening. In fact, we've got a Parks Master Plan that's underway where we're having a consultant look at the totality of the master plan for all of our parks. How many parks do we have in the system for the city of Douglasville?
We have 7 parks in our park agency. We're looking to hopefully build on and venture over into some of the other parts of the city we haven't gone to yet. Maybe a wellness center or even a theater, from what I've heard now a lot of people are interested in.
A lot of talk. Plans are being made. It'll roll out soon. So, all right, Chaim, tell us a little bit about some of the athletic programs going on.
All right, so right now we have our youth baseball registration going right now. We are currently wrapping it up this Sunday, and we're excited about opening day March 10th, so we hope for everyone to come out and have a great time.
Yeah, and opening day, even though maybe you don't have someone on one of the teams, it's still a great day to see all those children excited about getting involved in the league for this season.
Yes, it's a great opportunity to come out and have a great time.
All right. And Kendrick, what about programs that are happening at the parks for the next month or so?
Oh yeah, we have registration opening up on February the 5th for the breakfast with the Easter Bunny. It'll be on March the 24th at 9 a.m. And we also have the Jesse Davis Park Egg Hunt on March the 31st. So that's the day before Easter, which is on April Fool's Day this year. So we're expecting probably around 500 people at the Egg Hunt at Jesse Davis Park and around 150 at the breakfast with the Easter Bunny.
Okay, so Easter's kind of early this year, it sounds like?
Yes, yes, early, but we're definitely ready.
There you go, planning and ready. And so registration is available on the website through or dropping by?
Yes, registration for people that's not really affiliated with us or maybe not really familiar with what we're doing now. We have Rec One. And Rec One is a system we're using now to do online registrations and payments for different programs, special events, and athletics. So it's on the website. We'll have a link there, and you can register for all our events on there.
And you can bounce off to that website off of the cities as well. So great tool to use. Anything else, Chaim?
Yes, I also have a League of Stars adaptive baseball program. We'll be starting registration for that this Friday, and that's a great opportunity we provide for athletes with physical and mental disabilities, and that's a great opportunity as well. So that opens up Friday, and it'll extend all the way through March.
Right, and Hunter Park has a great facility out there for just those needs.
Yes, we have a adaptive baseball field just for that.
Goodness, a lot going on. Is there anything else we need to mention, kind of get people thinking and prepared and right on their calendar?
Well, Camp Explorer Summer Day Camp. Registration opened up on March the 5th.
Okay.
So that's going to be a 7-week program starting June 4th.
So getting the information out ahead of time, if you're looking for a summer camp program, a great program that's been well established with the City of Douglasville Parks, and you can start registration on that March the 5th. That's right around the corner. All righty. Well, gentlemen, thank you so much for being here and sharing the information. We'll have you back on. How about that?
That sounds awesome. That sounds awesome.
Great.
Did you know dragging chains can spark a wildfire?
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Thanks so much for joining us on this very first City Connector of 2018. It has surely been a pleasure to have everybody on the show today, and in just a second, you're going to be hearing some more from Hailey Fletcher Music. I know that you are loving it. But first, I want to remind you that we tape the last Tuesday of every month at high noon right here at Arbor Place Mall. We would love for you to come down, listen to our live talent, and be a part of the studio audience. Remember, the City Connector is on YouTube, we're on Facebook, we're on Twitter, we're on the City of Douglasville website, we're on TV, we're everywhere. So make sure you watch and make sure that you share it with all of your friends and neighbors, because there's so much happening in and around the City of Douglasville. I know that you're not going to want to miss it. So with no further ado, let's learn a little bit about Hailey Fletcher Music and Friend. So Hailey, tell me a little bit about the kind of music that you guys perform.
We do a little bit of everything. Mainly like that Texas country.
Cool.
Very much like the red dirt. I was, if you couldn't tell by my shirt, very much into like the 80s, 90s country, like the Mavericks, Dwight Yoakam, Alan Jackson, that whole that whole era was definitely my favorite, hands down.
That's great. And do you write any of your own music?
We do, actually. This year we haven't been playing out quite as much, and we've been focusing a lot on writing. So we actually were able to go down to the Frank Brown Songwriter Festival down in Fuller, Alabama, and played shows with Doug Johnson, that wrote 3 Wooden Crosses for Andy Travis, and Danny Wells, that wrote Check Yes or No for George Strait, which was...
Well, that had to be pretty exciting.
I fangirled out a little bit. I was like, oh my God.
Just queen. I know.
I did. I just sat there like, oh my God. It was so exciting. But
that is fabulous. Now, you also tour around a good bit, right? Where can we catch you? What's going on?
Everywhere. Anywhere from like Minneapolis to like Naples, Florida, Key West. We are all over the place. We've been keeping it a little bit more local. A lot. Atlanta, north of Atlanta. Where were we at? Decula? We were in Decula last week. It's a town that I didn't know existed. So we're trying to keep it a little bit more local. I'll actually be in Nashville this weekend, but for a private party. But maybe you guys will see me out and about this weekend up in Nashville.
Well, we are surely glad that you put this show in amongst all of the other cool stuff on your calendar. Now, you've got some new music coming out. Tell us.
We do. This will actually be the first single I've released in about 4 years. First one since my last knee surgery, which is crazy exciting. It's a little bit hard to get around when you get a big cast on. But it's called Waylon Song. It's kind of the rebuttal back to Waylon Jennings' Mamas, Don't Let Your Babies Grow Up to Be Cowboys. I wrote that with this gentleman standing right next to me. So that'll be out February.
Fabulous. Find it on all the usual suspects: Pandora, iTunes, Amazon.
Google, yeah, it'll be on everything. So you can go to my website at just HaileyFletcherMusic.com or Instagram, and you guys will find the link for that. But anywhere you get your music, it should be up sometime in February. Their weird uploading dates are kind of wonky, but iTunes I know is always first. So
cool. Well, we are certainly excited to have you guys here. You sound great. It's an honor for you to be on our stage.
Thank you for having us.
Oh, it's great. I love it. So I'm going to leave it to you folks, all right?
All right.
We'll see you next month.
All right. So like I was talking about, this next song is going to be the one that's going to be coming out next month, in the month of February. It's a rebuttal back to Mamas, Don't Let Your Babies Grow Up to Be Cowboys. Definitely one of my favorite songs of all time. So, yeah, here we go. Ready?
Longing for arms that won't hold me, and I've been longing for his lips that won't kiss me. I wanna feel his hands brush against my skin. I wanna hear him say it's gonna be alright again. I wake up in the dead of night to find myself reaching. You think by now I know there's just a cold sheet waiting. Well, I lie here and stare at the ceiling thinking how it is you can walk away without even blinking. Felt like a hand of man. He made it look so easy, like a showdown in a one-horse town. When you left me here bleeding. Well, no, I didn't understand him and he didn't die. Well, I should have paid attention to the way them songs. Got your Lone Star buckle from that week in Amarillo, along with a 6-string that only ever played. Snowing on returned, Mama Mama told me when she saw that Stetson. Well, child, watch yourself. It's straight out of a country song. You'll end up alone. Well, he must have felt like a hell of a man. He made it look so easy, like a showdown in a one-horse town. You left me here bleeding. Well, no, I didn't understand him and he didn't die. Oh, well, I should have paid attention to the Waylon song. Well, he must have felt like a hell of a man. He made it look so easy, like a showdown in a one-horse town. You left me here bleeding. Well, no, I didn't understand him and he didn't die. Oh, well, I should have paid attention to the Waylon song. Well, no, I didn't understand him and he didn't die. Well, I should have paid attention to the Waylon song.
Oh, well, thank you. All righty here. Tune this sucker back up. Cold weather and guitars don't get along quite the best. All right, so this is another original song. White trench class at its finest. I was 17, tailgating. We'll drink a Bud Light from a Mickey D's cup and cowboy boots and cut-off jeans. But Katie couldn't hold her liquor, so Jenny tried to hide her from the APD. But when she closed and bed on the floor, they turned around and cuffed me. And I was mad as hell and caused one hell of a scene. And I cussed those boys in blue, scrapping like a hurricane. I heard the band play loud and the roar of the crowd as they slammed my door. I heard a long hot summer and days go by. I had to laugh when I heard cop car. It sure sounded good through my window. I got arrested at the Keith Urban show. Oh.